What do you do when the very people who are meant to protect you become the ones who hurt you the deepest? What do you do when trust is shattered, not by strangers, but by someone you once called your own? Because let's be honest, pain from strangers, you can brush that off, but pain from your people, that doesn't just hurt, it echoes. It lingers in your thoughts at night, replays in quiet moments, and slowly starts reshaping who you are. It makes you question everything, your worth, your judgment, even your heart. And if you're not careful, that pain can harden you, turn you cold, guarded, unrecognizable. But here's the truth most people never learn. You don't have to become bitter to become stronger. You don't have to lose yourself just because someone else lost their respect for you. Because today, this isn't just about pain. This is about power. The kind of power that doesn't scream, doesn't chase, doesn't beg to be understood. The kind of power that moves in silence and heals in private. Because there is a smarter way to deal with people who hurt you. And once you understand it, you don't just recover, you transform into someone they can never break again. Here's the truth. Most people try to avoid, but it will set you free the moment you accept it. Not everyone who hurts you actually feels sorry. And not everyone who says, "I'm sorry," has truly changed. Read that again. Because a lot of people are trapped in a painful cycle. They get hurt, they forgive too fast, and then they get hurt all over again. Same person, same pattern, different day. And the reason? They confuse kindness with weakness. They believe being a good person means being patient with disrespect, tolerating inconsistency, and giving endless chances to people who haven't earned it. But real kindness doesn't come at the cost of your self-respect. The smartest people understand something different. They don't let emotions control their decisions. They don't react out of pain, anger, or the need to prove a point. They pause, they observe, and then they respond with intention. They stop chasing apologies, stop waiting for closure, stop expecting people to suddenly become who they never were. Instead, they create distance, not out of hate, but out of clarity. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop giving access to people who only know how to misuse it. The first smart move, stop taking everything personally. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because it's not always about you. See, most people walk around carrying wounds you can't see. Unhealed trauma, insecurity, anger they've never dealt with. And instead of facing it, they release it on the closest target. Sometimes that target is you. They criticize you, not because you're wrong, but because they feel small. They disrespect you, not because you deserve it, but because they lack control over themselves. They hurt you, not because you're weak, but because they don't know how to handle their own pain. And when you don't understand this, you start blaming yourself. You overthink, you replay conversations, you question your worth. But the moment you shift your perspective, everything changes. Instead of reacting, you observe. Instead of absorbing, you detach. And you ask one powerful question. Is this a reflection of me or a revelation of them? Because once you stop internalizing other people's chaos, you protect your peace. And that's where your real power begins. Most people believe strength has to be loud. They think it looks like arguing, proving a point, defending every accusation. But real strength? It moves differently. It's controlled. It's intentional. And most of the time, it's silent. Because the smartest way to deal with someone who hurt you is not always to confront them. Sometimes it's to outgrow them. See, when you argue with someone who already disrespects you, you're not elevating the situation. You're stepping down into it. And in their mind, they've already won. Why? Because they got your attention. They got your energy. They got a reaction. But when you choose silence, everything shifts. No reaction, no validation, no control. And that's what confuses them, because they expected noise. But you gave them distance. They expected emotion, but you gave them calm. And suddenly, the power dynamic changes. Not because you said something powerful, but because you didn't. Because silence isn't weakness. It's discipline. It's self-respect. It's knowing that not every battle deserves your voice, and not every person deserves your energy. Let's make this clear once and for all. You can love someone deeply and still choose to distance yourself from them, because love does not equal unlimited access. Just because someone is family, just because they've been in your life for years, doesn't mean they have the right to keep hurting you. That belief, it's what keeps people stuck. The smartest individuals understand something most don't. Forgiveness is internal, but access is earned. They don't just say, it's okay, and move on. They observe patterns. They notice behavior. And then they adjust accordingly. They create boundaries that protect their time, their energy, their peace. And when those boundaries get ignored, they don't argue. They don't beg to be respected. They don't repeat themselves. They simply change how they show up. Less calls, less availability, less emotional openness. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Because boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about controlling what you allow. And the moment you start protecting your peace is the moment everything in your life starts to change. Now let's get into what actually works. Not emotionally, but strategically. Because real power isn't about what you say. It's about how you move. 1. Detach without announcement. No speeches, no long paragraphs, no dramatic exits. Just pull your energy back, because the moment you announce you're leaving, you give them a chance to pull you back in with guilt, excuses, or manipulation. But when you quietly detach, that's when it hits them. No warning, no closure, just absence. And absence speaks louder than words ever could. 2. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe explanations to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Over-explaining is exhausting, and most of the time, it changes nothing. It only reveals one thing, that you're still seeking their approval, but the shift happens when you stop proving and start accepting yourself. 3. Upgrade your focus. Stop obsessing over who hurt you and start investing in who you're becoming, because nothing unsettles people more than seeing you calm, focused, and moving forward without them. That's the real win. Not revenge, not confrontation, but growth they can't interrupt. Let's be real. Letting go isn't easy. Not when you've built memories, shared moments, invested time, energy, and emotion into someone. It's not just about losing a person. It's about letting go of what you thought they were and what you hoped things could become. And that's what makes it hard. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Honestly, how much more of yourself are you willing to lose, trying to hold on to someone who keeps choosing to hurt you? Because at some point, the focus has to shift. It can't keep being about them, their behavior, their excuses, their patterns. It has to become about you, your self-respect. your peace of mind, your future, because every time you tolerate what hurts you, you slowly abandon yourself. And that cost, it's too high. Sometimes the strongest, most life-changing decision you can make is to walk away. Not with anger, not with revenge, not with the need to explain or be understood, but with clarity, with calm, with quiet strength. Because real power is leaving what breaks you without letting it break who you are. So the next time someone hurts you, pause. Don't rush to react. Don't let your emotions take the lead. Don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you lose control. Instead, take a step back. Observe the situation for what it really is, not what you wish it could be. Understand the pattern, not just the moment, and then decide calmly, clearly, what level of access they truly deserve in your life. Because here's the truth. Not everyone deserves the same version of you. Some people deserve your kindness, your patience, your presence. Others, they deserve your distance. And a few, they deserve your complete silence. No explanation, no reaction, no second chances, just absence. Because the smartest way to deal with people who hurt you isn't to fight them, isn't to prove your worth, and isn't to chase closure they'll never give you. It's to rise above them with self-respect, with discipline, with a level of peace they can't disturb. You don't win by reacting. You win by evolving into someone they no longer have access to. CTA. If you've ever been hurt by someone you trusted, drop a strong in the comments. And if today's message changed the way you see things, make sure you subscribe, because this journey, it's not about becoming harder. It's about becoming untouchable in the most powerful way. And trust me, this is just the beginning.